You don't want the truth because deep down in places you don't talk about at parties, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
All right, everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk entertainment. What we always do is we always give you the truth. We always give you the honesty. We always give you the opinion that may not be popular, but it's unbiased, it's unbroken. And you know what? We're going to be doing it on and on forever. Want to talk about the Giants rookie minicamp? Want to talk about the Giants schedule coming out? Want to talk about people already looking forward to the 2023 draft for a quarterback, which I find hilarious considering everyone's thinking that Daniel Jones is going to be the man. But for some reason, we have fans saying, well, let's take a look at the 2023 class. We're not going to look at the 2023 class. Let's see what the kid can do. Everyone knows I'm not the biggest Daniel Jones fan, but if he's successful, then we don't need to find a quarterback. So why am I looking for 2023 if everyone tells me how successful he's going to be? The Giants, of course, have the rookies coming in today for their next 3 days for their rookie minicamp. The Giants will have select interviews today with Brian Daboll and some of the players. It's going to be interesting. We signed a bunch of free agents to come in here. We officially signed 11 undrafted rookie free agents. I am curious that Trey Ford, the quarterback, or the stud quarterback out of Canada, has turned down the Giants' invitation to come to minicamp because of the fact that the Giants, in their infinite wisdom, want to look at him at other positions besides quarterback. And the kid's already come out and said he wants to play quarterback, and he was taken high in the CFL draft, which quarterbacks are not taken high. He was taken 8th, which is the highest quarterback has been taken since like 1980 something over in Canada. Kid completed over 70% of his passes, and you know. It is what it is. But we got 11 free agents coming in today, with the likes of Austin Allen and Yusuf Corker. And we got Ellis and Evans and Gilbert and Hall and Hilton and Miller and Thompson and Antonio Valentino. I just hope Antonio Valentino makes the team because I would have so many different sound effects for Antonio Valentino. But you know what? These are guys that are coming in with hopes and aspirations of at least making the roster. More than likely, they are going to end up either working at Home Depot or selling insurance or maybe potentially even making it onto the practice squad. So we got to kind of just see what's out there. We got to just give them a chance. The kid Corbin, the running back, I'm kind of curious to see. I mean, he's a guy that I thought would have probably been, I thought he would have been drafted. But you know what? He's got a chance to make the Giants team as a depth player. If he can return kicks and play special teams, I don't see why not. He had how many touchdowns? I had to look at. Hold on a second. I know he had two or three touchdowns over 70 plus yards over and with the Florida State Seminoles. So, but you know what? He's a guy that I think he could be put on the NFL stage. I think he could do something. He seems to have some speed. He seems to have some talent. He wears number 0, so I hope he wears number 0. And kind of got to see where we go from there. Corker out of Kentucky, the safety. That's the guy I hear everyone talk about. How about he's going to be a surprise guy to make the roster. He's going to be a surprise. They're saying that he was somewhat, people were some kind of shocked that he didn't get drafted. Because I think he was the 190th or 180th or somewhere between their ranked prospect last year, which kind of tells me you're not going to get drafted. You have a good shot at not to getting drafted. What they say is he's a little bit slow. He doesn't miss tackles. He's a hitter. He's a thumper. He's like, in my mind, going back in the day, he's a Ken Easley type. I think the Giants right now, out of desperation, may potentially keep him on the defense because he can also play special teams and earn reps that way. And I talked about it with OGR Sports the other day on the podcast, and OGR was telling me he's a little slow of foot. He's going to be more of an in-the-box strong safety. And if we go with a Patrick Graham-style defense, but we're not going to because it's going to be the Winks 3-4 attacking style defense, but he could be a quasi-linebacker / safety. I think he's on the smaller side, if I remember what OGR was telling me. So he's another guy just to kind of keep an eye out, just keep a look at. I've talked about Christopher Hinton before, and I did a whole video on him. He was a 5-star recruit going into college, and he actually selected Michigan. I'm a little shocked that he came out. I'm a little shocked that he came out of college when he did. I mean, he was a guy that was pretty hyped up, but he never really put together the pieces. But if you figure you got Aiden and David on the same line and same defensive unit over in Michigan, his he may not have had the opportunity to shine. He played better. He played better on the inside. He's kind of reminds me, I've said this before, he kind of reminds me of a Dalvin Tomlinson type guy. He does the dirty work. And I know we drafted J.D. Davidson. Is it J.D. Davidson? Yeah, it was Davidson. DJ Davidson. Sorry, J.D. DJ Davidson. I'm thinking J.D. Drew. I know we drafted him late, but he's like, you know what's funny? I didn't know he was 25 years old. So he's a little bit older. Hinton's only 21. I think he's a guy that's going to be a plug. He could be a plugger. He could plug in the hole. He could fill in the Calais Campbell type role, not to the effectiveness that Calais Campbell did with either Jacksonville or Baltimore, but he could potentially fill that in. So like we got to see. We got to see what we can do. We got to see what he can come up with, and we can see how he plays. But I mean, and like I said, I want to see Wan'Dale Robinson. I said it yesterday. I'm curious to see what his true size is. I'm just curious to see how big he really is or how small he really is, and just get an idea. And like I said, you're not going to really see anything much out of these camps. You're going to see them come in. You're going to see them, run around the pads, not the pads, but they're going to run around in the shorts and the helmets. They're going to be learning their playbooks. They're going to be fitting for their gear. It's not going to be anything. It's not anything overly exciting. But you know what? It's exciting for the Giant fans because it's the fact that we're getting the first part of the season kicked off. And I think, to me, that's the most exciting part, that we are getting the first part of this NFL season into gear, into shape, and kicked off. And this is day one. To me, this is actually the start of the season. In my opinion, in my mind, this is where the rubber hits the road. This is where the season gets started. And this is where everything, is going to fall into place, hopefully, for the Giants. And this is where we're going to finally get to see what this team is. So it's exciting. Schedule came out, of course. I mean, I guess you have to love optimism, because I've seen 12 wins, 11 wins. I've seen the playoffs. I've seen the wild card. It's just one of the things. It's just one of those things that we don't know yet. We have no idea. I'm shocked that we're playing on both Thanksgiving and I think, what are we playing? We're playing on both Thanksgiving and New Year's Day. I'm kind of surprised by it. I'm a little shocked back then. Well, we're playing Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and New Year's Day. On New Year's Day, I will be with you again. I'm kind of shocked by that. Was Halloween not available? It's almost like the NFL is kind of burying the Giants a little bit, except for the Thanksgiving Day game, because who the hell's going to watch on? You're not going to have as big as an audience versus the Colts on January 1st. And honestly, it's I mean, someone like me, I'll watch the game on New Year, Christmas Eve, but I think that's a little bit unfair. But then you take them and you send them to we ship them over to London. So, I mean, I think that's a little unfair in some regards. But that's okay. Like I said, it's just, I think if you look at it from perspective of ease of use of the schedule itself being easy, I mean, there's some teams on there that this should be a winner. This schedule should be a winner games, but you never know, because we had all these people last year telling me about all these winner games and we lost most of them. So you have to just wait and see, because you don't know what teams are improved. You don't know what teams are going to get worse. You don't know what teams are going to be better this year. So it's kind of just have to wait and see. Pro Football Focus, I love the venerable Pro Football Focus, ranked Andrew Thomas the 20th best left tackle in the game. I think he's better than 20th. I really do. I love it how Thomas improved his Pro Football Focus grading from 82.4 to 78.9 last season. Pro Football Focus is full of crap. If there is a place that's more full of crap than Pro Football Focus, I don't know who it is, but they just are. That's just the way they are. I mean, they got to be in business to do something, and people are dumb enough to believe it. I don't know what else to tell you, because a lot of times, like I said, we've gone over 1 million times why Pro Football Focus is full of crap. But you know what? It is what it is. I think Andrew Thomas is better than the 20th best tackle in the league. I think they're selling this kid short. And And I think we gotta kind of look at it that way. And like I said, we always take everything like this with a grain of salt. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's Pro Football Focus, so it is what it is. The Giants also officially announced 4 new people to the personnel department. So Joe Shane is sweeping house. Actually, I think he hired his boss from from Miami. So they're cleaning house. They're revamping the entire scouting department. They need to. It also gives them a somewhat of an out if this draft class fails, because they could be like, well, we didn't have our guys in place. We didn't have the guys in place. So, I mean, I think that's from the perspective, I think that's the best perspective you can take a look at as much as possible. But like I said, I'm excited for this season to get started. I'm excited for the kids to get into camp. I'm excited to see everything that's going on. We're probably going to do a stream today at 4. That's 4 p.m. Friday Eastern Standard Time. Just to talk about the training camps, talk about everything else that's going on. We'll have to wait and see how that comes out. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing the best of New York Giants sports talk entertainment. And as always, if you like, if you subscribe, if you ring that bell, you hear the means, that'd be awesome.